The Oval, only on its finest voices, spreading knowledge, inspiration, and awareness to the campus at large, with a splash of campus entertainment and entertainment news. Where could you go wrong? This is The Oval.
Everybody, welcome to The Oval. Thanks so much for coming back for Season 8. It's been a long time, but we're glad you're with us. Around me, I got some fresh faces. So how you guys doing? What's up? What's going on?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good.
Wonderful.
How's things? Anything interesting going on right now?
I just recently watched the new Euphoria episode. Did anyone else here see it?
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you guys think?
Crazy.
I really
Crazy.
liked
Set up beautifully, the most recent one.
Yeah. I just can't wait for the next part of this play that
Yeah.
Lexi's trying to do.
I think, obviously, spoiler alert, but I think that this was beautifully set up into two different parts. The way that the episode was like arranged as if it was an actual play, and you have the overture in the beginning, which was the long instrumental of the orchestra, which I thought was really, really well done. A lot of people were like, what is this? But I thought it was really, really well done, and I'm excited to see the second act tomorrow. I'm a little nervous because it's the last episode of the season, but I'm excited.
Any ideas for what might possibly happen? Any
I
predictions?
don't know. I think that
Guesses?
there's going to be something fatal happening to a character.
Something fatal?
I think so.
Oh,
Someone's kicking the can.
really?
Yeah.
Finally, huh?
Or just seriously hurt because
Yeah.
obviously that's
Seriously
what the
hurt.
trailer
I mean-
made it look like.
Yeah. Fez was like down on the ground.
That would be
It's my
horrible.
boy. I don't know.
I know.
He can't go.
I know.
He can't go.
I know.
But
How about you guys? What's going on?
I just want to say that I love my black queens.
Uh-huh.
Zendaya, I love you.
Cadence, what's up with you?
I'm gonna be so honest. I haven't seen Euphoria.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I've been filling my time with is I'm a freshman, so I'm into intro geography 100 right now, and so I've been spending all of my past times just studying the world map. So now I know like every country in Europe, every country in South America, and every country. I'm in Asia, and I'm going to do Africa tomorrow. So that's
So
literally
cool.
all
Do you know
I've been
capitals
doing.
too?
No.
Do you think you're ever going to get to that point?
We'll see.
That's still
But
super impressive.
I'm almost
That's
done with the
insane.
world map, so I'll update you later.
Wow.
Awesome.
Give me a
I can't do
country
that.
that you think we've never heard of.
Liechtenstein.
I have never heard of that.
And where's that?
It's right next to Germany, and it looks like a tiny toilet. It's really, really.
toilet.
Yeah. That's how I remembered where it was.
I
Interesting.
hope they don't see this.
Yo, can you point it out on there?
I can't. Well, this is really small,
on the
but-
baby globe.
Let's see.
Okay, so here's Russia. So it's in this tiny cluster, but because it's so small, like I can't
see
really
the
point
toilet.
it out. Yeah, because you can barely point out like the other surrounding countries. But
That's interesting.
That's awesome.
So moving on to a more serious note, unfortunately, today, February 24th of 2022, Russia has invaded Ukraine, essentially to take land and take resources. It's breaking news as of today. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on it, just generally.
Yeah. It's like a terrible thing that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly, I feel like living in fear as other people are, I assume. But I don't know, it's just like, the main thing is like, what happened at least today was the fact that Russia invaded Ukraine, and it was like, it was catastrophic. Like it basically war started. And like, it's just, Putin's like motives for why he wanted to like do this was to keep peace with everyone and to like, do all that. In no way, shape, or form is this peace.
Yeah.
Invading a place and
Yeah.
making civilians go under martial law and like have to stay there and fight and like survive. It's just
Right.
a really awful thing.
Yeah, I read that the president of Ukraine was telling like basically like every able-bodied like man to
Yeah.
essentially fight if they can.
Yeah.
Which is
Ages 18 to 60.
Can't
Exactly,
leave
18
because
to
of the
60.
because of martial law. They also can't leave the country. So things are rapidly changing. There's been, last time I checked, 5 separate regions that were taken over all around. So they are making their way around Ukraine. It's definitely very, very scary stuff. I could say that if this was us in this position, I would not know how to handle something as horrible as that. So it's a really negative thing that's going on, and thank God it's not affecting us, but it's something that we really need to think about and put ourselves in other people's shoes.
And honestly, like, it could affect us. Like,
Yes.
absolutely.
I feel like everything that's going on there right now, like, because what Russia has control of our gas, and then
Yeah.
China has control. I mean, not China's not really involved right now, but like things could happen, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, like a lot of things are going to impact us in that way. But who's to say that it's not going to go, you know, nuclear
Yeah.
in some way? Like,
100%.
you know, Putin's like kind of telling everyone like he's got nuclear weapons and he's kind of not afraid to use them, and that's
Yep.
like
Right.
a very scary thing.
I just want to say happy Black History Month for all my brothers and sisters out there. And I just want to say, could we as Americans just take a step back and just worry about our own issues right now, because we have a lot of stuff that's happening in America itself. We still don't know how to deal with like COVID and stuff, and then we about to get into a war, and we in debt, and we owe a lot of countries. Could we just take a step back for this one, you know? Because
You
I don't
know,
want
the
to
thing
deal
is
with
that,
Russia.
like I said, though, this is a very horrible thing that's happening, and yeah, we have a lot of things that are happening in our country, but like I said before, it's really important to put yourself in these people's shoes. Like,
Like they're getting
these
invaded.
people are dying.
Yeah.
They are dying actively, so
I know now that. Oh, sorry. Like,
I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
It's like it's understandable, but it reached a point where, like, if something bad happened to the world, where's America? Where's America? Could you help me? Could you help me? It reached a point where, like, we can't do everything, and we made a lot of mistakes helping people, and a lot of people that we did help turned on us a lot of times throughout history.
I just feel like as a country as big as we are, like it's almost selfish if we don't kind of help out whoever we
And you
can.
know, like we have an alliance with these
Yeah.
surrounding countries, and that's kind of like what an alliance really means. It's like
That
we
is
have
true.
their
help each
back,
other
they have
out.
ours.
That's true. How you know they have our back?
You can't
they
really.
agreed.
You can't really know.
You can't. You don't. No one knows.
treaties
but
and such.
Yeah.
It's really,
So what happens if we do help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we get involved.
I know that's.
Well, I
well,
know
that's the
and
whole
then China,
discussion.
and then China get involved.
Yeah, I know.
North Korea get
Yeah,
involved.
that's the scary part. Is like, it's like in a way America does have this sort of moral obligation that you guys are talking about, and in a way it doesn't, because we have problems here, and it's just scary because like historically like dominoes fall, and just because it's like one country doesn't mean that it can't be all of Europe the next. Like, you put Europe next to any other superpower in the world and they're like nothing, unfortunately. I mean, and that's like who Ukraine is. Like, I mean, the only things that are really happening right now are like sanctions and stuff like that from like foreign governments. I just don't know what will happen if we step in, because if like a Russian kills an American or an American kills a Russian, it's like, what does that spur?
I feel like I do understand where you're coming from, and I do feel for it for like the Ukraine people, but it's like it's a lot of like it's like stepping on a lot of toes. It's like very sensitive when it comes to like war, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I feel like America should like help in different ways and give resources, like help them out in a way where they're not involved and actually there, and actually explain to them how to handle the situation with Russia instead of actually
yeah,
being
actually,
involved in
Biden.
it.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in terms of like resources, surrounding countries of Ukraine, like Moldova and Lithuania, they're way smaller compared to Ukraine, and those countries have declared emergency. So now, if say people escape Ukraine, then these countries are taking in refugees, but because of how small they are, they don't have really the resources to just protect a country so much bigger than them. So,
Like we almost kind of have to step in.
It's like we do have to step in to a certain extent, but we also have like there's so much issues in America as well. Like we haven't been a unit in a long period of time, and how we can help others if we can't even help ourselves.
Well, many issues in our country stem back very, very far, and it doesn't seem as if we're going to be fixing them directly today, and that's why we'd help other people who need to be helped. Of course, issues are always going to pile on politically, socially, but in this instance of an emergency, I think help is definitely
It's like
something
saying-
that's needed.
sorry, it's like saying we have to wait until we're perfect in
Yeah.
order to help, when I don't think that's
Also,
like a
I feel-
necessity.
Won't
Also,
happen.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's like a
exactly.
loop. If you look at all the wars that happen, it happens like every majority of like world wars that involve the United States did not start with the United States. If we talk about look what happened in the Vietnam War. You know what I'm saying? So if we do the same stuff, mind you, people like get to spend a lot of money on military stuff.
Well, I think
and
the only
funds.
reason why some other countries are trying to, join in on this process and help Ukraine is so that it doesn't become something way bigger. Because, who's to say if we don't step in, it could get worse.
100%. It could get nuclear.
Either way, I feel like either way, it's definitely going to get worse because they already declared the war. It's like it's really bad.
But
It's
how
been
much
bad.
faster do you think it would stop if
I
other
feel like
countries didn't step in?
I feel like if other countries step in, it would turn into a world war. That's the issue. When other countries get involved, it turns into a bigger war. It doesn't get better. It doesn't, because then America's not the only one with allies.
Right.
Russia is also have allies, and also Russia have other countries that's in debt to Russia. As you could talk about, America have a lot of issues with economic-wise with Russia, so there's a lot of money involved. You know what I'm saying? And that could impact the way we run if we go to this war. Or we try, I understand helping them out, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like tug of war,
In my opinion, I just don't see how we can't.
Yeah, we can't.
Just to sit back and watch Ukraine and Russia go into war, and we know that we're very capable of helping them, and we just don't. I can't.
I mean, there was something proposed to President Biden pretty recently about basically a cyber attack, shutting down the internet. That way, it's not physically involved, and shutting down electricity. And there's definitely other ways that we can help, like you're saying, not to directly be placed in Russia, but there are other ways that America can be involved. That way, it's helpful to these people. And again, I agree with you. In my opinion, I think that it definitely is necessary.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like this. I'm just talking about, I'm just basing it off of, history, because history always repeats itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, once we help, America is officially in war.
So what would your
And then-
idea
and then
be
it's like-
to combat that?
And then it's
either way,
before-
we're going to war.
Either way, I feel like they declare war. It's
So,
there's no coming back from that. And
so you'd
plus,
rather
I do
we're not
understand that
involved?
I do understand that a lot of countries do depend on America for a lot of resources and a lot of stuff because there are contracts, and I'm not sure how it works. But there are stuff that is happening throughout the world, and I know that a lot of countries. I just got confused. A lot of countries need America help, but it's I feel like before we rush into stuff and say, oh, we need to help, we need to come up with a plan. Because I feel like we just rush in and say, oh, we're America, we have to help. But I feel like we need to come up with a plan where we don't take Russia off, piss them off even worse, where we could still help Ukraine without pissing them off, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's also the issue at hand, is how much time could we waste if they're already surrounding the border of the country?
Because
They already invaded.
Yeah, they're already in.
It's
They're fighting in Chernobyl and
there
risking.
are citizens in Ukraine learning how to shoot weapons. It's
Yeah.
your mother is learning
I do-
how
So
to do that.
I do understand
To
that
protect
we
yourself.
do need to help because if we don't help, then North Korea feel like they could do the same. They could go invade South Korea, and China feel like they could do the same. So it's it's just a tug and war. I feel like for us to answer this question, it takes time, and it's just day one.
It absolutely does.
It's
take
just day
time.
one. It takes time
Yeah.
to understand what's the issue, because a lot of us say we have to help, but we don't know. We don't really know the history of the whole situation fully. So I feel like as a country, we have to take time to understand what's happening before we say let's go in and help. You know what I'm saying? Because Ukraine and Russia once was together in the Soviet Union.
And that's what
So-
Russia wants to
And that's
take
what
back.
Russia wants
That's the
back,
whole
yeah.
reason they're
I
doing
know.
it.
Yes.
So before we even help, we need to know the history of it. You know
I mean,
what I'm
I-
saying?
I
A
feel
lot of
like
people don't
we know the
really
history
We know
of
the
it.
history of it. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The history's
There's
known.
a lot
sure,
of-
Unfortunately, I'm sure that this topic will continue for a while.
Of course.
I think for now, all that we can really do is pray for the people in Ukraine, and there's really
Yeah.
not much that individually we can do at the moment. So we're going to take a quick commercial break right now, and when we come back, we're going to move on to a much lighter and a little bit more controversial topic, even Kanye West.
Mr. West.
So stay with us. Just released Donda 2 on 2/2/22, but only on STEM Player for those of you who want to watch it. So I just want to know, or listen to it, watch it. I just want to know what you guys think of him. He's super controversial. There's always something happening with him. Thoughts, comments, questions,
Mr.
concerns?
He is a very accomplished and talented person
Yeah.
who is caught up in a lot of controversy. You can talk about it from all different angles because there's several instances, but currently Some problems with Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. Yeah, he refers to him as Skeet Davidson, which I think is very clever. But I think that it began with Kim and Kanye. When they got divorced, they decided they were going to co-parent. It worked out for a while until it came out that Kim and Pete were potentially together. And that's when a social media rant was produced by Kanye. Said some things about Pete Davidson, about other celebrities got involved. Kid Cudi is no longer on Donda 2 because of it.
Yeah.
And that's a big one because he's friends with Pete Davidson. Yeah,
I know.
there's that picture of them at dinner with Kanye West, Pete Davidson, Timothée Chalamet, and who am I missing? Kid Cudi. And now all of them are no longer friends with him. I mean, we haven't heard from Timothée Chalamet, but
He's siding with Cudi. I don't care.
he 100%
I have that
has.
picture on a fanny pack, by the way. I got it at this school.
Okay.
Didn't age well,
Next
but I got
episode.
it here.
You're wearing it.
Next episode.
Yeah, no, I'll bring it
Yeah.
next time, guys.
No, you're wearing it.
Yeah, you're wearing it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about Kanye?
Kanye is so petty.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Kanye be petty. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Why
like,
do you think he's petty?
because like when he was married, he had Pete Davidson in his house, eating his food, and then they divorced.
That timeline's a little bit incorrect,
and
actually.
then
I
you
hate to
wanna-
say it, but
and then you wanna.
Kim and Kanye got divorced almost a year ago, technically
It was a
speaking.
year ago.
So they recently only started to see each other.
I never said that. You didn't even let me
You
finish.
said
But
Kim
they
and Kanye were still married.
They was like Pete was friends with them. Like
yeah,
for a
well,
while.
that's true.
So
but
I'm
he
saying,
was
like,
he
like,
was he
You're
was
saying Pete's a snake.
Yeah,
Yes,
like you was
clearly that's-
like,
yes,
I didn't
that's what he's
even,
saying.
oh, Black History Month is crazy because I didn't even get to finish what I had to say. I wasn't,
well, if
I wasn't
you were
going
getting the
against you.
facts wrong, so I'm telling you what the facts
All I was
are.
saying is that you was in my house and stuff.
Yeah.
I was dabbing you up,
Yeah.
and now you.
That
with,
is sneaky.
Now you with my. Now you
Yeah.
with my. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
divorcing.
That'd be like me and you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, Sean is different. But I'm saying, like, I do understand where everybody's coming from when it comes to Kanye, because he is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You're a bit bonkers.
But he's a genius too, you know.
Yeah.
No, he knows how to market himself. He's a black man. He's a billionaire, so I have to support him. On Black History Month, but I do understand that it's like it's unnecessary. You know, the stuff that
Yeah.
he's doing is unnecessary. I feel like he should focus on the kids more and keep that attention on the kids, because I don't want the kids to grow up and have to see this and then see that there's a separation because Kanye's being childish and being a child. He should just like step up and understand that this is the love is no longer there, but you still have the love for your family. That's all that matters. And if you look at it in the past, like even in the documentary, in the Netflix documentary, it's like how close he is with his mom, and he lost his mom, so he don't want to lose that bond with his family. And
Kanye's definitely going through a lot. As
Yeah,
losing
of course.
His mother, because that was like probably the only woman that like grounded him. Like you could see it in like the videos and stuff in the documentary. Like
For sure.
she really like had an impact on like him and who he was as a person. So the fact that she's not here anymore can obviously like make him lash out and do
Yeah,
and
and
say things that he probably might not mean in the future. But
Yeah.
He also has a history of mental health problems.
yeah,
So
he likes to say that a lot, but it's time for like Kanye to like actually get help, like continue. Like I'm not sure if he's getting the help that he needs, because it looks like he's not. And I feel like Kanye do need to get the help, and I feel like he's like a lot of his bonds that he created in the past always end up breaking. Like when it comes to him and Jay-Z and Beyonce, now him and Cudi, it's like he needs to, and him and Drake, it's always like an on and off type of bond between those two. And I feel like it reached a certain point in time where you have to look at yourself and be like, I might be the problem, instead of pointing fingers at other people. And I feel like he's doing that to like Kim, he's doing that to Pete.
Yeah, it's just
I-
really hard. You know?
I see him as like a master manipulator.
Yeah,
he
he
knows
is.
what he's doing. I feel like a lot of people try and find excuses for it, or like, you know, feed off of it because it's very dramatic and, you know, petty. But I don't think people really realize how much it affects, like, you know, his kids' lives or Kim's lives or Pete Davidson's life. So I don't know.
I just want to say, like, Kanye haven't had like a dad in his life for a while. I know he had a stepfather in Chicago for a certain point of his like childhood, his upbringing. But Kanye is a good dad, and I want to say that because we like to talk about what he posts on Instagram, but we don't talk about him actually sending his whole family to go to the Super Bowl and he was out there in the crowd. He wasn't in the box, like the box office where all the celebrities usually be at. He was in the crowd with his family, like watching the game. And I feel like we always want to bring somebody down because they go and show a lot, or because of the situation, the back and forth that's happening between those two. But we also have to say that Kanye is a good father, and he is doing a lot of good. And if you listen to a lot of if you listen to a lot of his albums, it talks about like a lot of history. It talks about mental health. It talks about love. It talks about a lot of situations that he's been through. But also another topic that I want to bring up. I'm not sure if you know this. He made a diss track about Pete Davidson that features the game. And I'm just saying, Kanye is the most pettiest person I ever met.
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's
I just think it's for
just
publicity too.
immature.
Yeah.
Like it's to get his album out there too. Like a lot of the stuff he might be saying, like he's a calculated guy in my opinion, and like
this happened right as Don.
yeah, like think about the timeline. Think about his other things that he's like lashed out and like said some whack stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Like was something coming out of his coming up, or like in a couple months, maybe a month, couple weeks, like.
I mean,
you know?
I really don't know, honestly. I feel like my jury's still out on my opinion with Kanye because I feel you on your point about him being a manipulator, but I also do 100% think that his position, like losing his mother, I do think that really impacted his mental health because I feel like when I watch the documentary of him, I remember my mom used to say like in interviews like before he lost his mother, he was just like a regular, confident, happy dude, and then like that happened, and that was probably like 10 years ago now. And I feel like the timeline works out about right where you see him getting like off track, I guess, or not sticking to like the mold of like this is how a popular music celebrity should act. But also like being one of the biggest people in the world and probably the biggest couple in the world with Kardashians. I mean, just being in that position and like having everyone around you also just like worship you. Like not only do his fans worship him, but so do the people around him, which only impacts that mental health more. I think it's just, I don't think that he himself even has like time to breathe or even think about anything like that.
Also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also to add on what you were trying to say, is like a lot of people worship him and stuff in a sense, like a lot of people worship him, but a lot of people is fake in the industry. Kanye only had like his mom. His mom was the only like realest person around. If you see the documentary, you see a lot of people from his hometown was hating on him, but also was right by him.
What's his name? Scooney?
I don't know his name.
Scooty?
Scooty, I think.
Yeah. Cootie.
Cootie.
Cootie, the cameraman.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people were like hating on him, but was right by his side. So when he lost his mom, it just changed his whole perspective on
100%.
on how the game is worked. So like that's why a lot of people close to him keeps like distancing themselves to him because it's like he can't trust nobody. It tells.
Yeah.
Would you guys say you're Kanye fans?
No.
I dabble. Mainly like now, more recently. I mean, growing up, not typically my brothers listen to him, but that brings me to discuss the fact that I don't agree with any of the things that he does publicly, but it gets
He like publicly humiliates people.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
literally
no, it's
bullies
horrible.
people on the internet, and like even
But-
before some of the things he's dealing with, like it happened to Taylor Swift. Now it's happening to Pete Davidson.
Right,
like
Taylor
who
Swift.
is next?
People
That's
point
like
at
the
Taylor
next
Swift.
yeah,
question.
but that brings me back to the fact that he does make beautiful music, and it comes to that factor of being able to separate the artist and their music, and if people are capable of doing that, people want to do that. But that's always a huge debate when it comes to musicians when they're controversial.
I feel like a lot of the greatest musicians who ever lived have something going on with them, and we forget that we are all humans and we all have like our ups and downs and our flaws and stuff. But I would say I'm a Kanye fan, and I am inspired by the stuff that he have done because he have opened doors for a lot of people, and I feel like he doesn't get the credit for that because of his the stuff that he does, but he have helped a lot of people. It wouldn't be a lot of these like new rappers and new artists if it wasn't for Kanye. So I have to give him his respect in that sense, and how he just went to the fashion world. Even though I do question a lot of the stuff he put out when it comes to clothes, I don't know what the fake Crocs that I don't know what he was. I feel like it reached a point where Kanye, it reached a point in every like artist or celebrity career where I feel like they don't have to do that much.
Right.
They
He doesn't
don't,
have to
like,
do that much.
they don't have to do
To
that
get a
much.
trend started, yeah.
Basically. But I do want to say, I do support Kanye for that reason, in that like he opened doors for people like me who's want to get into the music industry, and I feel like I can't like disrespect. A lot of people don't really come after Kanye because they know exactly who Kanye is and what he have done for the game. So I'm not going to take that away because of his love life or his personal life.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me ask you this then: are you able to completely look past the horrible public things that he's done? Or are you able to be like, look, I know that he does these, that he continuously does these inappropriate things for the whole world to see, while at the same time respecting him?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know how to explain that to you.
I feel like I definitely separate the like his music versus who he is as a person. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of who he is as a person, like, and what he has to say about people on the internet. You know, it's not very respectful things he's saying. However, I'm a huge Kanye fan when it comes to music. Like, I love all of his stuff. Like, he has come out with, like, insane, like, it's just started, like, movements for, like, other music to just, like, flourish off of it. And, like, everyone knows, like, all of his albums, I feel like. Like, chances are you're going to ask someone, they're going to know at least one Kanye song. And, like, I don't know. He just made great stuff. So, like, personally, I don't respect him as a person, honestly, but for music purposes wise, I do.
I feel like to answer what you were trying to say, if we do that for Kanye, then we would have to do that for every single celebrity and every single artist.
But don't
and
we do that? Shouldn't we be holding these people accountable if they're in the public eye?
Of course we should hold them accountable for a lot of their actions and stuff, but like at the end of the day, we have to respect the art as well, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to just water down the art because of the person and how bad he is. Like, if Kanye came here and told me, like, let's make a whole album together, I'm not saying no. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say no. If he could talk so much shit about Pete Davidson and Kim, I'm going to say yes. Because Kanye could get me where I need to be, you know what I'm saying? And I know Kanye, even though Kanye is a lot going up here with Kanye, but he also have a lot of good in him too as well. And we're not gonna act like he don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he brought up Chance. Like, Chance,
he brought up
he brought up a lot of people.
More people than you even know. He's produced songs
so
for more
people.
people than you'd even know.
With every celebrity, they're always a yin and yang. Cause we could talk about Pete Davidson and what he did when it comes to the Mac Miller situation. So we can't just say, oh, Kanye is just bullying Pete Davidson like he wasn't doing the same thing to Mac Miller a couple months before.
Okay, it's not the same though. Like, it's a lot. It's more drastic in Kanye's position. Pete Davidson is known for having a horrible, offensive sense of humor, which again, I'm not excusing that, but at least Pete Davidson has issued apologies. Like, there was one instance where he was at a comedy show and someone heckled something about Mac Miller, and immediately, not chiming in, not making a joke, kicked him out and made sure that he was no longer a part of it. So he is able to differentiate what's okay and what's not okay for the public eye to see, where I know clearly Kanye's not really capable of that.
I feel like Kanye don't go by those rules.
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Kanye don't.
Why is he excused?
Because
of what he's done, like, music-wise?
I feel like this is the issue here. Like, and we could also talk about Kim K, because Kim K haven't done a lot of good stuff either. You know what I'm saying?
She's a phenomenal businesswoman. Crazy. Are you kidding me?
So we're gonna just pick Kanye on the bus and act like Pete Davidson and Kim K is like, oh, good angels, sweethearts.
No, I don't think I said that, actually. I did not say that.
On Black History
You
Month?
can't deny the fact that the Kardashians are not the most insane business people you've ever seen.
I understand, but
they are like an empire.
Well,
It's
I'll take the mom. I'll take Chris.
Kylie's pretty successful. Kylie is pretty successful.
I know, but it's just hard. It's hard for me to respect someone when they have everything given to them.
Watch the Kendall.
Like, Kylie had millions of dollars to do
valid.
whatever to do whatever she'd like with.
Watch the Kendall Pepsi commercial. That's what I'm gonna say. Watch the Kendall Pepsi commercial on Black History Month before we just attack Kanye. Just watch the Kendall Pepsi commercial. That's
all right,
all I have to
favorite
say.
Kanye song, go.
Favorite Kanye?
Yeah, let's go around.
Kanye West new workout plan.
That
Pick one.
that's a banger.
Quick one.
Probably Runaway.
Runaway, great.
Yeah, classic.
Get back to me.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Tess?
I said Kanye West new workout plan. That's like my song right now.
Yeah,
I'd
I know,
say.
that's hard.
Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe
Oh.
I'll take Father Stretch My Hands.
Yeah.
Damn, that's the one I was gonna pick.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's not.
It's just the beat, bro. It's Metro. It's so good. So
True the Wires. True the Wires.
Through the Wire.
Yeah, that's the one that saved me off.
Nice. All right.
That's what the second episode's about.
Cool.
Damn.
Thing. Yeah.
And Cadence hates Kanye, so that's right.
Own it.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next week.